afternoon. My name is Cardise, and I'll be your nurse today. Can I have your name and your age, please?
Tavian, I'm 23.
Okay, Tavian, do you have any pre-existing heart conditions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay, what we'll be doing today is a cardiac assessment. I'll be inspecting, which is looking, palpating, which is touching, and auscultating, which is listening through my stethoscope. I may go over the same area multiple times. Don't be alarmed. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. We're just doing a thorough assessment. Okay? Do you have any questions before we start?
No, ma'am.
Great. Okay, I'll start by inspecting your carotid artery. Okay, on both sides. Okay, great. Okay, now I'm going to palpate them. Okay, being very careful not to press too hard and cut off the blood flow to your brain, of course. Okay, great. Now I'm going to listen to them by auscultating through the small end of my stethoscope, which is my bell. Okay, if you don't mind, take a deep breath, let it out, and then just hold it. Thank you. Okay, again, deep breath, let it out and hold it. Thank you. Okay, great. Okay, now we're going to listen to your heart sounds. Okay, I'm going to listen to the 5 different heart valves on your chest. Okay? All right, I'm going to start off here, and I'll use the bell, which is the smallest part of my stethoscope, and I will start here on your second intercostal space on the right side. Okay, that's your aortic. Okay, I'm going to go straight across to the second intercostal space on the left side, which is your pulmonic. All right, we're going to the third intercostal space on the left sternal border, which is your Erb's point. The fourth intercostal space on the left sternal border, which is your tricuspid. Okay, we'll do your left mid-clavicular line on your fifth intercostal space, which is your mitral valve. Okay, great. Now we'll do the same thing with the diaphragm portion. Okay, I'm going to come here to your second intercostal space on your right side, which is your aortic. Okay, I'm going to go directly across to your second intercostal space on your left side, which is your pulmonic. Okay, your third intercostal space on your left sternal border, which is your Erb's point. Your fourth intercostal space on your left sternal border, which is your tricuspid. Okay, then I'll do your mid-clavicular line on your fifth intercostal space, which is your mitral valve. Okay, all right, and I will also palpate those same areas. No, actually, I'm going to have you go ahead and lay down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, right now, if you don't mind, looking to your left for me. Okay, I'm actually looking to see if we have any jugular vein distension. Okay, you can look back towards me. Okay, no jugular vein distension noted. You could just look normal. All right, we're going to palpate and inspect your pericardium area. Do you feel any tenderness here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm now going to palpate your second intercostal space where your aortic on your right side. Okay, go over to your second intercostal space on your left side to your pulmonic. Okay, your third intercostal space to your left sternal border to your Erb's point. Okay, your fourth intercostal space to your left sternal border, which is your tricuspid. Right, we're going to do mid-clavicular line down to your fifth intercostal space to your mitral valve. Okay, okay, palpate there for your apical. All right, now we're actually going to go ahead and do the same thing with the stethoscope. I'm going to listen through the small end, which is my bell first. Okay, all right, we're going back to the second intercostal space on your right to your aortic, across to your second intercostal space on your left to your pulmonic, your third intercostal space on your left sternal border, your Erb's point, your fourth intercostal space to your left sternal border, which is your tricuspid, and your left mid-clavicular line on your fifth intercostal space, which is your mitral valve. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the diaphragm, the bigger end of my stethoscope. Okay, we're going to come here again, and we're going to go to the Second intercostal space on the right to the aortic. The second intercostal space on the left, which is your pulmonic. The third intercostal space on the left sternal border, which is your Erb's point. Your fourth intercostal space on the left sternal border, which is your tricuspid. And your left clavicular line to your fifth intercostal space, which is your mitral valve, and we will listen for your apical pulse. Okay, and if I could have you, while I still have the stethoscope attached to you, just turn over onto your left side, please. And I'll listen here as well. Okay, you want to go ahead and roll over back to your back? Okay, great. Okay, and did you have any other questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, thank you. This concludes our assessment.